Hey, what a pleasure to be here. What a wonderful venue and what a great invitation here from University of Nebraska. And thank you, in particular, Vice Chancellor Dr. Boehm, Greg Eibach, a good friend of mine from DC, Undersecretary Eibach, I should say, Jesse Brophy, I met earlier, and Matt Haymond. I know you've all put in countless hours along with my staff, 3 of them here in front, 2 of them in the back table, to put this whole event together. It was a challenge 2 years ago, and it doesn't seem like 2 years. You know, with the pandemic, I don't know about you all, but I've lost all semblance of time and dateline, but I had appeared in front of the House Ag Appropriations Subcommittee, and Congressman Fortenberry, hearing I was from Western Iowa, hearing my passion for young, beginning and small farmers, put out the challenge to come over in Lincoln. In fact, he even offered to issue me a visa to cross the Missouri River, which I thought was very gracious of him. But it's been 2 years in coming. Obviously, as Chairman CEO, I've had a lot of things I've had to put on hold. And at the top of the list has been to actively push and encourage our system institutions to continue to expand on their Young, Beginning, and Small Farmer Program, what we call YBS. As mentioned, I'm Board Chairman CEO of the Farm Credit Administration. That's the regulator for the Farm Credit System. The Farm Credit System provides roughly 44% of our nation's farm debt. We are the leaders as far as providing financing to agriculture. Assets roughly $428 billion, and loans right now around $320 billion. Our job is to regulate and examine system institutions and make sure they're fulfilling their mission to Congress in making loans in a safe and sound manner. And an important part of that mission involves young, beginning, and small farmers. I go back to 1974. I graduated from Atlantic High School, and like a lot of farm kids, I was in VOAG and FFA, and I think we had maybe 20 out of a class of 165 people, we had 25 people in our VOAG FFA class. Today, I think there's only 3 of us still in active agriculture, and with me living in DC, it might be questionable whether I'm actively engaged in ag, although I am every day. So that just tells you we lost a generation of farmers in the 80s, and in the Farm Credit Act of 1987, that's why they specifically authorized the Farm Credit System with the mission of advancing young, beginning, and small farmers. I forgot to add, for a farm boy, we sure didn't rely. Mike Stokey in the back, the director of our public and congressional affairs, was following his GPS today. What a beautiful day to come out and talk about the future of agriculture. Harvest is wrapping up for a lot of us, sunny day. And we followed our GPS and we got our road mixed up with lane. And instead of being here at the Union, we ended up admiring a very beautiful cow herd, Angus cow herd that was pasturing stocks. So we started out the day in a good shape, didn't we, Mike? Again, my wife and I started out as beginning farmers in the 80s, and true beginning farmers. I think maybe we had $2,500 equity in her Oldsmobile Cutlass. It was a cool car at that time. Since that time, our operation has grown. 3 of our 4 children are involved as young and beginning farmers. So when I come to Farm Credit here almost 4 years ago, I learned about YBS. Gary Madison here in front, who's a director of YBS program for the systems. I met with him, and he could tell right away, boy, this ignited a real interest in me. And so I started asking questions from the get-go about the program. And while the system has done a good job, I could see where we could do a better job. We've got roughly 72 different institutions throughout the country. I traveled a lot. I asked a lot of questions about YBS. In fact, as I visited farms and ranches throughout the country, usually I wouldn't ask for the large, glitzy, multi-generation operators. I wanted to see the young farmer operations in their work clothes. In fact, only 2 days ago, I was in Utah, and I had a really nice visit to a ranch. They produced hay for the international market in a valley of Utah. And the young operator and his wife showed up on the farm, and he had a 6-shooter strapped to his side. And I thought that was kind of interesting. As a lender, do you always come, prepared with the 6-shooter? And his wife says, you know what? I keep telling him, why do you put that thing on? He says, because of rattlesnakes, varmints, blah, blah, blah. She said, yeah, I think he thinks it just looks cool. But anyway, it was a fun visit, but typical of the visits that we've had throughout the country. And as we move this YBS program ahead, not only are we sharing best practices like we're doing today in Lincoln, but eventually we're developing rulemaking to rate the different system institutions on their effectiveness, on the numbers, on the practices. What practice is worthwhile unless you actually evaluate it? And as an oversight supervisor of the system, obviously we're in a position to do that. So I think, again, this is a culmination of really 2 years of planning. We hope it to be the start. University of Nebraska, you're the pace setters here for the rest of the country. We really hope to take this same mission to many other regions of the country. So I thank you very much for your kind invitation to be here today. Thank you.